Hey everybody, I'm going to be going through and showing you how I diagnose this motherboard and hopefully repair it. I haven't taken a look at it yet, but I'm just going to go through some of the things that I do, and this will be just a quick tutorial, I hope. Alright, so right now what I'm going to try to do is remove the battery. So this battery has outputs 15.44 volts, it's 80 watt hours, 5,000 milliamps. I don't know where to find the amperage and all that stuff, but that doesn't matter for right now. We're just trying to find the fault in this laptop. Now, one thing that is happening is I use this little thing right here, and it tells me how much voltage and amperage goes in, and then I'll show you guys right now. So it's showing me about 19 volts and 0.36 amps at 0.6 watts. That's just, I think, voltage that's leaking. Like, let's say I open it up and I press the power button. You'll see right here, it'll spike up and then it'll turn back off right away. That means there is a short on the motherboard somewhere. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not, but we'll check right now. Now, I do like to unplug the battery, just because if I don't, it could supply voltage where I don't want it, and then I might be the one causing the issue, like shorting out a component or something like that. Yeah. I'll show you some of the tools that I use. I have a thermal camera that I use that we saw in class earlier this year. And wherever there's a short, normally there's a heat spot on the board. And that shows me, okay, there's something there. It could be because of that chip, or there's like, it's just backfeeding voltage from a shorted capacitor. Resistors don't really go out all too much. They're pretty stable. It's mostly capacitors that sometimes they just get old or something, and then sometimes corrosion happens. But we'll go through it right now and check. So remove the heatsink. Ooh. Okay. So this is the heatsink for the laptop. Now all these thermal pads, I normally do take them off just because I don't, I won't be able to see clearly the heat spots because of it. Because it'll dissipate heat, and maybe there's a capacitor that's shorted that's like messed up, you know. Hmm. What I'm focused on currently is just removing all the ribbon cables connected to the motherboard. And I'm doing that mainly because when I pull the board out, I don't want to rip anything off because it is not fun replacing those or finding a replacement for it. Okay, I think I got all the ribbon cables off. Now this can stay. There's one here. Now I hope that the short wasn't on the main CPU line, because if it is, it could have fried the CPU right here or the GPU. And if those get fried, it's extremely expensive to replace. Okay. I'm gonna remove this protective covering. It's like a big heatsink. Sometime, if you're lucky and something blue, it'll leave a mark on the heatsink, and then you'll be able to see, okay, something blew up here, something blew up there, you know? Now, if we look at it, it doesn't seem like there is anything that got burned. Okay. Let's move this to the side. Okay. And now we can go over it. I just like to do a visual inspection first. I have a microscope that I do that with. Let me switch to that view. All right. Before I inject any type of voltage. So make it a little bit brighter. Sometimes you'll see these marks, just glue from the covering. Mainly when you're looking for is like blowholes, like burn marks on a chip, or any type of corrosion if it had any water damage. Now I think this is yep, this is a charging chip for the battery. It's the BQ24800. These go out a lot, but since the battery is charging no problem, I don't think it's that chip. Make sure that's okay. That it's clear for the video. Okay, this looks clean. Honestly, this all looks pretty clean. And you'll see how I do it with the voltage, where I'll inject voltage with just the charger, because it does take some, so there should be a heat spot where it's shutting off the power. Sometimes these fuses go out, so we'll check that too with a multimeter. That was a 20 amp fuse. Maybe 20 milliamp. I don't know. or a 2 amp. It could be a 2 amp. Now this side does have a lot more components. It'll look fine. I'm gonna move this to this side actually, just for now. Just because I want to, when I use my thermal camera, I don't want anything hidden under the these coverings. Normally there's nothing under here. It's pretty empty. That's where you put the RAM. And this is DDR5 RAM. So if you guys know anything about RAM, right now it is kind of crazy how much they're charging for that stuff. This is thermal putty. I'm gonna remove it. We don't need it there. Or just dried up thermal paste. Jeez, that's bad. Yeah, it was all dry. It's okay. Now I think this board is still alive. I don't think the CPU or the GPU was hit, just because it does shut off almost immediately. No, it's not that. That means there's a chip that is turning off voltage. It could be a MOSFET that's shorting out to ground. It could be one of the charging ICs, another fuse right here, I think. So we'll check that sometimes. The people that I got this from did say they opened it up, which is a little bit scary because, you know, they could have done, honestly, oh, there's some CPUs, capacitors over here. I'm gonna take this off just in case. Now, computers in general do have kind of like 3 main voltage lines, sometimes 4 or 5. This is a current sense resistor for the battery, and then there should be one next to the charging IC, which is here. There's a MOSFET. This is in control of the power coming in. So when we plug in the charger, it should give us 20 volts on the output, and then there's a gate here. And this is the input on this side. Fuse, I'm scared this, it could be this fuse. Hopefully it's something easy. Ooh. This capacitor looks a little bit crispy. Okay, it's odd. Same marking on this one too. Oh, it's a printing. Okay, my bad. It's freaking out for no reason. Okay, let's do, I'm going to show you guys the thermal camera. So this is the thermal camera. What I will do, did you see that? Could be a reflection. So with these thermal cameras, what's annoying is that it could be a reflection off of something else. So what I believe I saw was like a power switch. Oh, we see something getting warmer under here. Okay. You guys see that right there? It could be a reflection, but I don't think it is. It's this chip right here. Now let's see what it is. YFOA. Okay. Now there is some dispersed heat on this side. That means it's probably on the other side. Now that's getting hot, but I don't think that's the thing that is giving out. I think it's something on this side. Okay. This chip is getting hot also. I have no idea why though. It's not getting that hot, like crazy hot, but let's check the capacitors around it, see if there is an actual short. Let me bring you guys to the other view. Now this is a TI 3AZ158. I think I can find a chip to replace this one, but I would really like to avoid doing that just because it'll take so long to get the chip. Okay. I put the multimeter in diode mode. I like to check this way, just so I can see if there is something weird going on. So there's a dead short on this line. A capacitor, one side is ground, one side, okay. Okay, yeah, dead short, 0.000. Normally with like a CPU circuit, it'll give me 0.004 or something like that, just because it has high resistance. Okay. So what I can do is inject voltage here, right here, and then see what gets hot in the circuit. If it is this, I have to order this chip because I don't have another one. Well, let's continue checking. It could be a capacitor that's shorted. Wow, this whole circuit's just shorted to ground. That's not normal. That's good. Everything's fine aside from these and this one. I mean, that could be a sign of something. We don't know what yet, but it's a sign of something. Okay, now what I'm going to use is my voltage injection tool. I got it from AliExpress. Strong power supply. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll put the black wire right here. Any ground, I'll clip it. I'm going to clip it right here. And then I inject voltage where the short is. Actually, I don't want to have the neutral that far apart. I don't think it matters, but just in case. And then simultaneously, what I'll do is I will inject the voltage and then look at it with a thermal camera. So I have it at 0.8 volts and 2 amps injection. So let's see what is shorting this line right here. Okay, I don't think it's on this side. So I have to do some weird finicking. Oh. That's something wrong that I did. Hopefully I don't do that again. Jeez. Okay, let's measure again. I made a mistake. I did not. I'm good. Never mind. I'm good. It is shorted out. Okay. Maybe that. Well, I did make a mistake. I was measuring while something was plugged in. While it was plugged in, and it'll give me inaccurate numbers when I do that. Okay, the only place it's getting hot is where I'm injecting. This is not a good telltale sign on if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Wait, let me check this fuse actually. Let me check this fuse. Okay, that's good. Let me check this other fuse. That's good. It's literally a dead short. And that goes to the other side. This goes to the other side too. Okay, so there has to be a reason that this is all happening. There has to be. Wow. Thanks, Einstein. I can't believe you figured that out, dude. Yes, I know. Now I'm just trying to find where those capacitors are going to on the board. On the other side. Because if I can... That's just ground. Oh, there's another switch here. That's pretty nice. Could be these, but I don't think it is, because it would be pretty obvious that there's some heat damage on them. Okay. Let's just try to do it this way where I'm injecting and holding the board, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay, we'll live. Oh, I think we found it. Now I think I found it. Sorry, I'm not showing you guys, but okay. Oh, wow. Okay, it could be one of these capacitors here. I found a heat spot here, and you'll see when let's inject voltage right here. See that? Can you see it? Where is? Oh, see that? So there's something here, and I'm trying to find where it is. So, okay. Let me show you guys how I find this fault right now. Okay? So now that I know it's in this general area right here, I'll point at it right here. Right here. One of the capacitors here is glowing hot. See that area right there? Right here? One of the capacitors here is glowing hot. So to find out which one exactly, I will show you guys. And I can show you guys that actually. I will inject voltage. Show you guys. I'll inject voltage. See where the probe is at the bottom? Right here, where something hot is getting really hot. 30, what is that? 37. That means there is a blown capacitor there. Okay. Now to know exactly which one it is, because it is a pretty see how like some of them are corroded? Oh, did I get the right one? Hold on. Let me get, you'll see how this one dries out first? Alright, let me show you guys on the camera. Alright, I'm gonna put some isopropyl alcohol. It's not water. See how it gets moved right away? Oh, let me show you guys. Alright, now that I have it set up, right, is how you pinpoint which capacitor it is. Okay? So you flood it with IPA and then you inject voltage. And you see how this one right here is the one that's warming up the fastest. I'll show you guys one more time. You know, I'm gonna ask you guys, Which one do you think it is? I flooded the place with IPA. Which one do you guys think it is? Which one? You get 3 guesses. It's this one, right? Okay. So now we go through the process of removing that. I have to replace it, but I don't know the value of it. So we'll figure that out in a little bit. First thing I will do, remove the RAM stick. And then I'm using my hot air station over here. If you guys can see that. I need to put my phone on charge. So this is that hot air station that I use. It's called Aten ST862D. This has served me very well. I use it all the time. Obviously, don't touch this while it's on. It's very hot. But I will do a combination of hot air. And I'll go in there, put in new solder. Just let it solder, just because it'll have a lower melting temperature. And then I can input a new capacitor. And this should be fixed, and I'll show you guys the result at the end. All right. It was this one, I believe. This one. Oh, it just blew completely right now. Did you guys see that? That's crazy. It finally blew all the way. And you can't really tell that there is anything wrong with it. But that's crazy. Oh God. Wow, that heated up very quick. Okay. I'm just gonna reflow them a little bit. Just really quick. Because I want them sitting good. And that flux, the factory flux that they use is so cheap and it's so bad. It's shiny now. What is the solder balls? Okay. Now let's let it cool down. I will try to find a capacitor. Let me show you guys this while this is cooling down. This is how big the capacitor is. Let me clean it off. Pretty sure it's not supposed to be this dirty. See that crack right there? See that discoloration from the top to the bottom? That means there's a lot of voltage that goes through this capacitor. And it hasn't been able to fix it. Now, next step, now that the capacitor is gone and out, is to clean up a little bit. I don't like to flood it with IPA right away because it could shock the board and then just mess up the board layers. Oh, that factory flex is horrible. Okay. All right. Now I'm not done working here. What I said was I'm gonna get some of this. I'm gonna get this thing. It's a soldering tip that I have. It's very thin. It's a very thin soldering tip. So maybe not the best to work with for these larger pads, but we'll see right now how it goes. Do need a little bit of flux. It's a lot of it. I think I need a larger tip. It is melting pretty easily. Only issue is that it's not removing that extra solder. See how that? Boom. And then we'll go. Is a much bigger tip, but I should be able to get in there. Oh, I wanted to check if the short was gone. Now this is very tacky up here. I'll tell you why, because this is connected to a ground. This ground, it has a lot of heat transfer, basically. Okay. It's a very tight area. Let me clean the area real quick. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up good now so I can see what's happening. I do have this anti-contrast thing, but it does need to be, oh man, this gunk. Now that black stuff is just from factory solder. Factory solder that they use is extremely cheap. I use it because it works and it is cheap, you know? But like, since these are not meant to be worked on again, they that solder that they use degrades very quickly. That's why it turns into this color. But I think that's good for now. Let's try to find a replacement capacitor. Actually, before we do that, let me just make sure that the short is gone. So now if the short is gone, it shouldn't beep when I touch this. All right, awesome. That is ground, it's supposed to beep there. Okay, awesome. Now these two right here, 1 and 1, these are both ground. So if I solder onto here and these two touch, it's fine because they're both connected to ground. It's supposed to do that. Or it's not supposed to do that, but like it's okay if it does do that. And then this connects to this right here. I'm guessing this is the 3.3 volt line, and I'm really glad that is just a capacitor and not anything too crazy. I don't know the value, but most of these capacitors are the same. So I'm gonna remove one from another laptop. Sometimes you don't even need the capacitor there. I'm just gonna replace it just because I want something there. Now this is cheap solder, you could tell, just because it's bubbling up like that. Or sorry, not solder, flux. Just because it's bubbling up like that. Right, find your place, buddy. Alright. Now that was a donor board that I have. So I throw those ones around a little bit. Not too big of a deal. Now what I'll do actually, I'll just tack it in place first. Make sure it is in place. And then I'll add some more flux and reflow these. Okay, it's a little bit crooked, but it's okay. Let's add some flux. Now, let's check voltage. I want to show you guys this. Voltage while the board is still very hot. Oh, give me 1 second. For some reason, my camera is going to sleep. Okay. See that? It will go, the voltage will go up. Maybe the professor can show me why that happens. But you see how the voltage goes up the more the board cools down? I know that's how we measure temperature, but why does that happen? Because it cools down, the voltage goes up. When it's really hot, it goes almost to zero. So it's okay if this right here is bridging because they're on the same ground line right here. So we should technically be able to power this on and get fireworks. I will clean it up really quick. It's almost like it's brand new. Wow. Awesome. This video is almost an hour. Probably won't be an hour. No. Okay, system is not powering on. I think it's because I have to put it back together first, and then it'll start powering on. So let's put this shield back in there. And we'll fast forward this just so. Actually, let's try it first before reassembling everything. Oh man, I don't know where I put these. Okay, I think this goes right here. Actually, let me show you guys all of this. I don't know where this I don't know where this goes. None of this makes sense. Okay. Oh man. I need to do a better job at keeping track of all this stuff. Anyways, good enough, good enough. It's good enough, man. I just we oh yo. Alright, I just wanna be able to post it really quick. Just so I know that the laptop is powering on. That's what I wanna know. That's the main thing I wanna know right now. Get all the ribbon cables to the other side. Now, thank God these ribbon cables aren't like a maze where I'm just like, oh, if I put this in the wrong way, that's it. It's over, man. You know? The ribbon cables are pretty easily accessible. Okay, let's not put, I mean, I want to put just a couple of screws just so like the board is not flexing. I was gonna just do it without, but let me be a little bit responsible. Because technically the bottom side, like, there's nothing I need to access anymore. No, I got this laptop for $160, and considering if everything goes well, I can probably sell it for no less than $600 to $700. Now, this is technically not a repair business. I'm just buying and selling for now. But I want to be able to get to a point where this is a repair business and I'm able to charge $200 per repair, you know? For, you know, because this is a very specialized technical business. You need a lot of equipment. Doesn't have to be expensive, but you do need a lot of equipment and experience. I taught myself on YouTube. I'm actually taking this class because I just want to know the basics of electricity, how it's supposed to work, and it's been helping me a lot with understanding, okay, why is this not doing what it's supposed to do? Why is this not powering on the way that it's supposed to? You know? And then I think This will be the last. I'm getting very nervous because I hate replugging everything back in and then finding out, hey, there's something else wrong with the system. Like, oh, man. It just hurts my heart, you know? And I will just tighten down a couple of screws just to hold the cooler in. Nothing crazy. Okay, that is tucked in there. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Now it's getting 19 volts, 0 amps, 0 current, 0 wattage. Let's see. It could be one of these laptops that won't power on unless the battery's plugged in. That could be a reason. Okay, one more try. Let's see. Okay. 19 volts, 4 watts coming through. Oh, power on, keyboard on. Let's see. Let's see, come on. Oh, let me see that screen. Oh, this thing is like warped. All right, come on, come on. It's probably going through a BIOS reset. Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.